Hello, everyone. Uh, I really need to get my microphone arm set up again. This is just messy and I don't like it. Hmm. Oh, there's the me cam. Not my dog in the background. This feels a bit wrong. It feels like I'm not really centered, but you're not here to watch me. Hello, friends. I hope everyone's doing well. It's been another one of those fun payday weeks, you know? Um, I'm still playing on the alt because I did test my main account, and it is like directly proportional to how many friends you actually have online playing the game, like how broken it is. And it was pretty functional on my own, but if I actually want to play with other people, it's gonna be down broken. So not worth it. I have no idea when they're gonna fix it. Can I shake it? Not these days. Play Half-Life 2? It's a nice suggestion. Anything, save me from my fate. I love Payday 3 even though it's going down like the Great Depression. Yeah. Yeah, well. I couldn't resist a little sassy title. It is free on Steam, I've seen. I already own it though. This is a Slade remix of Turn Protocol. She's top tier, as ever. Flashbang myself. Let's get in the game. Let's get some game audio as well. Okay, so practically, what am I gonna do when Starbreeze goes bankrupt? Am I gonna become a full-time COD streamer? No. Call of Duty is not it's not really within my future. I just thought it was fun to make a video on it because it's so it was so heist inspired. And if they keep adding heist to the game, maybe I will. But no. Also, Twitch drops are not active now. That's just a straight up lie, little information. But why would you tell me this? I think they ended yesterday, unfortunately, everyone. Well, I make Payday 2 content anymore? I mean, I still do. Like, the last Payday 2 video was within the last month. There isn't much to cover other than challenge type stuff. You'll find that like throughout the Payday 2 community who are still playing it. It's either progression things, people who've never played the game before, or challenge content. My challenges are a little weird, but you know, people who do like challenge runs on the hardest difficulty for single heists, things like that. Oh god, that should be turned off. We actually had a winner. Shit. Sorry guys, we're not actually giving away a free copy. I forgot I had Moobot doing this by the announcement. Scramble, scramble! I can fix this. It's been that long since I streamed. That should be ended. We actually did have a winner. I managed to get the code out to someone. It was exciting. It took a little while. Both of them I had to chase. Missing login permissions. Oh god. Giveaways, giveaways. How do I say? Yeah, let's just archive it. Archive it. Sorry about that, guys. I got no more copies to give away. We got 2. Now, can I make it stop doing the announcement? I'm sure I can. Which one of these do I not need? Exclamation mark Noli fans? That's a good one. Payday giveaway. Get rid of that. Oh yeah, fixed. Sorry for the false advertising, everyone. Sue me. I have failed. Yeah, sorry. No giveaway. I'm just a big idiot. I know people on YouTube can't even see that. beyond yesterday. It's yeah, it's funny. It has that effect on people, right? And somehow they're like full on surprised Pikachu face about this. We'll see. Almir will have his chance to explain it. I think the stream tomorrow is going to be pretty straightforward, right? Almir's going to hop on and answer some of the easier to answer questions. Because I think the hard to answer questions are impossible to touch for loads of reasons. Like, I just don't think it's stuff that is allowed to be public domain, you know? There's a number of people working on Payday 3, for example. The amount of investment budgeted for Payday 3 for next year. It's all way outside of the realm of what he could say, but they're obviously the things we actually care about. So instead, he's just going to need to reassure us, which he will do by saying, well, look, you know, we have all these plans. We have this heist planned. We have this character planned. We have plans beyond that. You know, I think they're going to run with something I've seen repeatedly mentioned, which is like they had to invest a lot more in the game because of Operation Medit Bag, and now they're pulling that back. I think it's a little more than that, personally. I think they're pulling back tremendously, and I also think the Operation Medit Bag's investment, I don't know how financially costly it was. It doesn't show up super notably on the balance sheet or on the P&L. But what is the case is that it's not improved sufficiently over that time. So if you're just planning to withdraw all that support you've given with half a done job, people are not going to be very happy. Cost $1 billion to fix the game, something in that region. Yeah. The Payday 3 minigun is not trash. That's actually one of the top things they've added over the last few updates. Oh, that's Bryn. I'm alright. Yeah, I think there is, and I will eventually release a video giving my thoughts on this. I just thought it made more sense to hear what Almir has to say tomorrow before I said anything, outside of what I've already said on Twitter. But my thoughts are that there is either a genuine disconnect between what we see the game as and what they see the game as, or low-key, they're done with us, you know, and Baxter is the future focus. Hey, just pizza. I've messed this up before, I know I have. Meow09. Thank you for the second month in a row with Prime. How's Payday 3 running? It's running fine because I'm on the Yellow Wonk account. By the way, I now have a third account that can play Payday 3. We're ready to do the challenge run, probably this week. I just thought I'd hop on, play some games, and I will practice. Why can't you see challenges within the, like, bit silly. Yeah, so there is one achievement I would like to practice, which is, like, I think after party is really straightforward. Guns don't kill people. Maybe I should practice guns don't kill people just to see how long it takes. Yeah, let's do that, actually. So we're going to try guns don't kill people, and we're also going to try Spec Ops, because it's like one of the only difficult ones. C-suites are always a problem. Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? I didn't necessarily have a background in gaming. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's difficult to hire for a relatively young industry, I guess, but I don't know. We'll see how it all works out. Like, what the hell is this build for loud? I thought I'd do a warm-up game. Oh my god. That's a Red Archer Live Prime subscription. I will buy a Freddo. Sorry, they're £2.50 now. My god. Inflation. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the title. I thought long and hard about it. As I'm sure they did too. In terms of like changing things around with with Baxter and Hasbro and stuff. Oh wow, thanks for all the support, guys. It's another Prime sub. This time by Flaminge 2. My eyes are going, guys. I'm in trouble. Hang on, I can actually make this bigger so I can read people's names. Another one. Yeah, the way they choose to allocate resources to Baxter might have been planned a long time ago. And we don't know how they're allocating resources to Baxter. You would assume they're allocating more resources to Baxter than Payday based on what they say. But, yeah, there's room to pivot there. I do think they underestimate how hard a time they're going to have selling Baxter whilst the Payday audience is ornery. I think low-key we piss them off. That's my grand takeaway. We're too old-fashioned for them. Too ornery and old-fashioned. Seems about right. Hell, I got skill points for days, man. I'm free. God title, thanks, Commander. I try. I hope your stream is good. Knowing you're probably still streaming. You're just multitasking. The usual. Right. So I'm gonna queue up some heists, and then I'm gonna do some sort of soft runs on 2 achievement runs because I need them for the full achievement run. I have the whole thing planned out now and ordered for a stream I'm gonna do later in the week or at the weekend. But I do need practice with Spec Ops because that's actually a difficult achievement, probably the only difficult achievement in the goddamn game. How do you play this game again? Does friends only work? I can't remember. So, well, I'll do a few warm-ups just for the fun of it, and then we'll do that. Refocus. I will accept a few Prime requests. I seem to be in a safe range if people watching the stream currently want to join. They should just skip year 2 and make Payday 4. What is it about? Finally, Payday is the Dark Souls of video games. Everything goes in a cycle. More like they release Baxter to, you know, what you would expect. Ravenous applause. 6 months later, they're like, shit, this ain't working. Back to Payday 3 we go. We need to fund our Payday 4. It's alright for me. If Payday 4 never happens, I've already managed to get a title out there with Payday 4 in it. Critical acclaim. That's the one beyond yesterday. That is the one. Winds of Change. Payday 3 edition. I'm almost nostalgic for the Winds of Change announcement back in the day. There was actually some excitement and promise in that one. Yeah, Troy, the only reason I'm actually able to play the game is because I've got an alt account where I haven't accepted too many friends. And there's something I want to do with it anyway, so it works out. We do have slots if people want to join, by the way. Winds of Change is post new gen. And not lookout would be a nightmare to set up on console. What's going on? What's going on? Oh god, no. Tell me I'm not lagging. Huh? Hell yeah. Good to see you, Mary.
The security gate's door is magnetically sealed.
Oh god.
You need to take out the power before you can disable the lock.
Love getting a Teams message.
Circuit breaker connected to it.
We're fine, we're fine. No worries.
Got ourselves a guard.
Yeah, the really, because I wouldn't know because I've not touched the game in. This is the longest I've gone probably without playing the game, and they can thank the fact I can't play on my main account for that, and also the fact that Call of Duty is kind of good this year, you know. If you don't rate Payday 3 a 10 out of 10, we'll lower our investment in you.
Guard.
Shit. The scariest message you can get from Starbreeze. No Noli investors, they got their stocks.
Now disable the switch box's security.
No, the Noli is sadly a penny stock, though.
Strange.
That is what lockpicking looks like to outside observers.
Wait, what are you doing?
Nothing, mate. Don't worry about it. There's something strange going on here. Oh, please can I get some full lobbies, friends? Please come save myself and Mark from ourselves. Or tell me that, like, the game's broken. That's also fine. To be expected, really. Team's message, you've been sacked? Nah, I'm safe. I live for one more day.
We're in.
You're gonna need those Baxter bugs, dude. I've already given them a name for it.
Under my shirt. I
Crack
freaked
the
out and
computer.
tried to get it with the baton. I must have dinged the radio.
That's the switch you need.
God, remember when you used to be able to call it out?
Concussion, but I've got great health coverage, so I'm all right. Let's move.
Houston, what are you on about, mate?
Alright, let a lady get her face on.
Exercise.
Yeah, well, recently the game got an awful lot easier. When I say recently, I mean ever since they added DLC weapons. Oh, my movement's gonna be so weird, dude. I'm gonna be playing like I'm playing COD. I'm gonna be trying to omni movement on these idiots.
I'm sending in the helicopter to do a drop.
100k channel points to shave his entire body. That would be a waste, mate. You think those you don't think those Manscaped ads are real? You don't think I'm a real Manscaped evangelist? Wrong. From Steve Sachs to Baxter Bucks. Dude, I might need to. Oh no, God, it's fine. I can keep them as C-Stacks. For some reason I thought they were Continental coins, and goddamn Lionsgate were about to be knocking at my door. I'm gonna have to change the name to Coins. I'd love to know internally how many copies of Baxter they expect to sell. There must be internal estimates. Phillips over Manscaped? I mean... Not my place to say. Phillips razors are pretty expensive too. And Manscaped's like... The main issue I have with it is the price. It's quality otherwise. The Swoley? I wish. Thank you for joining, friends. I do keep trying to run backwards. How do we feel about Baxter? Like, I don't think I've ever felt more empty about anything in my life. See, like, Troy, for example, an actual, like, Baldur's Gate super fan, he should be salivating at the thought. But the game's got absolutely nothing to do with Baldur's Gate in terms of, like, design. It's not what the studio's obviously known for. So I think the comparison's kind of a waste of time. Harry Lambda? It is Baxed over. It's Baxed over for me. It never backs begun. I really am missing the COD movement. I've been totally broken. Hey, this is a funny mechanic that we, like, never get to use, really. What prestige am I? I just hit 5. You're 2 prestiges ahead of me. You got that double XP bonus. Yeah, I mean, I don't think many people like Baldur's Gate because it just happens to have the like Hasbro license. I don't think that's what. I mean, that might have attracted some people to like the world and the narrative, but it's not why it won Game of the Year. I can tell you that. I'm still getting used to this sense, by the way, guys. For those who missed the last stream, I dropped my sensitivity down a lot lower to be better at like actual hit scan in competitive shooters, and it has made me worse at Payday. Crazy knock-on effect, I know. However, these cops are kind of thick, so I think we'll be alright. I'm a reconvert. as far as Call of Duty is concerned. I used to be genuinely a fanatic. I think the videos are now privated, but that is not the first Call of Duty video I've ever made on the Noli channel. But we're talking like pre-Payday games. We're talking 15-year-old little Noli. Didn't know any better.
The sprinklers are cooling down the thermite. Turn them off. We need it goddamn hot.
Troy, you're definitely the only like actual Advanced Warfare evangelist I've ever ran into in the flesh. I respect it though. It's like actually a movement shooter. Oh my god, all my buttons are wrong. I'm trying to throw flashbangs with the wrong button as well. When will I cover that they had cum extinguishers in every heist? I don't know. That was one that they were proud of. I wonder. See, really, that sounds more up your video style, Zally. No, don't you think? I'm not saying your audience is more inclined towards cum extinguishers.
Nicely done, people. Catch your breath, but stay alert.
Yeah, I'm actually having to like move my mouse, my whole arm around. I'm trying arm aiming, and it's at times I'm like, this is godlike, and at others I'm like, turn. I mean, it's a cool idea. They're like smoke grenades, aren't they? I mean, the whole thing about the extinguish is kind of overblown. No, they're not. They're not my favorite mechanics.
Cops got clearance to bring in naders.
Look at the range on that bad boy. Nico? Only the most like politically astute speakers could come up with a title like this one. My favorite thing. So originally the title was what did I settle on in the end?
Get ready.
Originally my title was significantly less invested streamer, and then I was like, oh yeah, and then there's also that second sentence they said about like amounts of value, and something about the idea of like an amount of value just makes me giggle. What does that mean, dude?
Okay, time to get messy.
What's the unit?
The big guns.
It's just amounts. How much value have I experienced so far? I couldn't tell you.
9 packs. Once the door opens, you only have a short time before
Come on,
you
mate.
go off.
Oh, Cloak got absolutely dominated.
Hurry up.
Okay, this is good practice for that one achievement.
We have the getaway van is on its way. Get to the main road.
Oh yeah, no transport skills though, kind of upsetting.
Hostage rescue units are on site.
Although I'm jacked to the gills on adrenaline. Which button for flashbangs? Oh, I think I hit the cum extinguisher, everyone. Watch out. You know, my mum sometimes watches these. Can everyone be calm down just a little and chat? Starbreeze do something again? Just the usual. To be fair to them, I don't think they expect anyone to read those investors' reports, because there's no investors left, right? They're probably shocked they were being quoted.
Get the weapon dropped to you right now.
So much for a rough diamond. Your boy's foresight is limited. But admittedly too limited. I'm embarrassed, don't worry. Sufficiently embarrassed. Thing is, those kind of were the vibes of the pre-release days. The vibes were good. We were happy. Briefly. You boys like to stop murdering me. What the hell does that mean, Nico? You still call Starbreeze overkill? It's a confusing little conundrum. That's a good one for the connoisseur video. More explained there, as far as the Starbreeze Overkill connection goes. So yeah, I'm relatively, you know, I guess I'm more knowledgeable than most. I've done accounting exams, right? But I could not tell you. It's not necessarily from like an accounting standpoint. Why they made these? Oh god, it's not looking good. Sorry, I can't talk about accounts whilst getting curb stomped. Yeah, from my perspective, there is a degree of sense to wanting to diversify the portfolio. Relying on Payday has been a problem in the past, and it's a problem they would like to get away from. Which is the part I understand completely. And I see long term that being like, super valuable. So that's like comment number one. There is purpose to it. It's just with where we're at, it's a double-edged sword. Payday 3 with no skills. Yes, I considered it, but like honestly, it's one of the only things about the game that makes me want to play it. A couple of zappers. So the idea of having to play the game without skills made me feel like genuinely, viscerally sick. You're gonna buy Baxter, Mario? Starbreeze aren't gonna buy it for you? Bastards. Almir will be streaming tomorrow. My original title was like The Calm Before the Storm, but honestly, I don't think there's going to be a storm tomorrow. I think not that many people are going to tune in. I mean, it's difficult for someone like me. It's just during work hours, man. How am I meant to watch? The game's an 18+ game, and they stream at a time when only the children and the unemployed and the maybe Australian can watch. I am none of those things. I don't think, anyway. I'm in a slightly problematic position here, lads. How do I kill a shield in all of that? Oh, I missed the Y button. It's over for me. Thank you. Also, heads up for those guys just like not bothering to shoot me. Oh, I need some resources, lads. I'm feeling mighty exposed. I don't have any skills on this account. Surely this... I guess that'll help a little bit. Wait, you can't use that while holding a minigun? Those bastards. They really took away all that we love. Alright. What's happened recently? There's been a mid-year interim financial report, which is fine. Like, the finances are doing pretty much what you'd expect. Most of the losses, by the way, just come from amortization against Payday 3, which would be happening regardless. It's just the game's not making any money at the same time. That's kind of the only part that like expressly sucks. So like nothing about the financials stand out as hugely surprising. They're obviously way worse than they would have liked them to be. It's more some of the comments by the CEO, acting CEO, CFO Mats, saying basically they're gonna cut investment in the game substantially. Significantly, I think was the word they used. And the majority of us in the community are saying, like, dude, the game needs more investment, not less. And then there's some people who are playing devil's advocate and saying, well, look, the increased investment was a result of Operation Medic Bag. That's all out the way. The groundwork's there. So I can understand why they'd want to spend less. My take is that Operation Medic Bag has done some good things, but it's done nowhere near enough. And I think they massively overblow how popular the game is. I think that 80% recent reviews, I don't know, like, they talked about it so much that it was obviously a point of pride, but I have some pretty fundamental issues with that. I don't think that was actually reflective of the genuine sentiment within the game. I think that was more people changing their reviews to positive that were negative. The long-time fans of the game who didn't like how it launched. It wasn't necessarily new players coming and going, this is a good game. So I think that they've got loads of cross wires there. And I sometimes think that they look and go, why don't we have, many people playing the game? And they're going like, it can't be our fault. It must be some external force's fault. And that's what's leading to these sorts of decisions. Instead of knuckling down and continuing to improve the game, they're saying, well, we can't make anything out of this situation. Dude, my daily challenges are impeccable. I got to place 4 armor bags, and then I got to place 10 armor bags. They're keeping it really high on the variety there. Happy to serve as your designated lot picker. I appreciate you so much. It's tricky without my full OP builds, because I don't adapt at all. I just play the game as I normally would. Because I suck. Okay, let's do another random heist that might be fun. And then we'll do some achievement practice. How does that sound? I'm really feeling a Fear and Greed. Did I get any more friend requests? I can't accept too many more, but a couple more on this account, surely. Got line of sex tips. Keeping it real. Big peon. So, complicated situation. I'm going to talk about that more in an upcoming video. Theoretically, the money they owe Digital Bros, it's all up in the air as far as I can tell. I'm guessing, complete guess, speculation mode. I'm guessing the fundamental issue is this deal was penned back in 2016 by a very different leadership team, talking about a very different Payday 3. The Payday 3 that they were intending to earn from was Bo Anderson's Payday 3. 2016, by the way, the first time they mentioned Payday 3. What we got came years and years later, led by a very different team, in a very different sort of format. So I imagine that's where a lot of the contention comes from, that this is fundamentally not the game we agreed to give you dividends from, right? Well, dividends, but some sort of earn-out, I think they call it. Regardless of that, I believe the game has earned enough that they would have to cover that payout already. If that's what they have to do, I believe it's already earned enough to hit that threshold. So future investment in the game should not be dictated by some archaic agreement they have with a bunch of Italian businessmen. That's what Digital Bros is, right? But I also think their relationship's probably stronger than that anyway. If you have a look into what they've done in the past, and not only are they massive shareholders, not just stakeholders, shareholders, with a substantial amount of voter rights, they're also they've also underwritten their rights issues in the past. Like, there's a relationship there. So it would be weird if they decided to go all out and take him to court big time, in my opinion. So I think that's more of a misnomer than it might seem on the surface. Sorry guys, I'm keeping you hostage whilst chatting absolute bollocks. Will I be making more COD videos? If there's more interesting COD stuff to talk about. I don't think I'm about to become a Call of Duty content creator. But to cover more variety in the style that I've sort of found with the challenge runs, certainly something I would consider or hope to be able to do more of in the future, if people like it. Azure, thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it. Sorry for the lobby invite, that's not a problem. Bo's always moulding. I mean, he's molded. It's gone. It's all gone. It was gone like 10 years ago.
Got ourselves a guard.
He's still around, you know. He's still big up in the game industry. Don't know if anyone saw the talk he did earlier. Gamescom. That was some pure entertainment. What are we dealing with here?
Alright. Hope you invested in the
Green. Boop.
You're clear to head down.
How do you feel about Payday 3?
If you tie down a civilian, I have something to bargain with.
Zipline secured.
Oh, it's the trick. My legs! I only broke them a little bit.
Concord's wealth relies on stocks in different companies. If we can short them through a broker firm, his money becomes our money.
Significantly less invested, God. That's a banger, dude. +2. My screen's doing all sorts of weird things. So all this means we don't get the Goat Simulator Legacy Heist. When we get that, that's how you'll know we're truly back, you know?
You'll be glad you picked up that access key.
This is me looking through the finances of Digital Bros and Starberries. Throwing them on the floor immediately afterwards. Am I doing open lobbies? Yeah, right now, in fact, these are all open lobbies. This is a precursor to a challenge run I'm going to be doing. I'm doing a little warm-up because I'm totally not used to playing the game at my current sensitivity.
Until they hit you. Focus B.
But we're going to do a Spec Ops run, which is the pacifist touch the sky stealth. And we'll do a run on... we'll do the 4-wave Rock the Cradle run. Because I want to see if I passively pick up the 50 sentry gun kills I need from doing that. Basically. Oh, they're messing with the,
Get your game
with
face on.
drill, I guess. Where is she? Where the hell's my grit, guys? I've been robbed.
Next, download the access key from
Unlucky.
the booth on the floor. We'll
I swear that...
data up on the market.
Has everything always been this orange? Is this what happened when they got rid of the blue filter? We became orange instead. Mate, don't shoot me. Thanks.
Sabotage squad.
Thanks for not shooting me.
Watch out.
Sometimes they'll just listen, you know?
Downloading the credentials as we speak. Won't be long.
God, the AI is bad, isn't it? Oh, that aim up, man.
Access key is good to go.
We have leveled up. Fear and Greed's very orange. I mean, that makes a change from it being the boys in blue homage, doesn't it?
Past the exchange regulators. We need to upload it from inside the transfer control room.
Come on, lads.
Use your drill to breach the door. Hop in.
Oh, yeah, we're still yellow wonking Kizu, unfortunately. And now, like, Yell Wonk has had to have a new little brother because we need a new account for the challenge run. Sad situation we're in here.
To hold up the market.
I actually have leveled up my aim. I can't believe this.
Override codes, then enter the
It's a goddamn
transfer
miracle.
control. The money must flow.
They said it couldn't be done. They said this guy's always going to have potato aim. But here we are. Oh, my eye. Something just went in it. Sabotage squad on site, very fitting.
Breaker code.
Matt's and the boys. Love some grit, guys. Bit early for dozers, lads. Oh. Oh, he gone. Did I just walk past another one?
Chopper's refueling. He can't make the
A
weapon.
heist about investments? Yes. It was all a prelude. The fact you get the pursuit from level 1 is kind of insanity. I know they don't want to lock DLC weapons too much, and I think that actually makes a lot of sense. But goddamn, getting like access to 2 of the best weapons in the game immediately is, got him, kind of insane. Boys in Blue for Game of the Year? Yeah, so I hear it's, they're saying it can be done. Took me a little while to find the thank you button, as you can tell. I'm not used to gratitude. I'm not sure Sydney's saving the game, man. At this point, I'm not even sure Jacket's saving the game. That's where we're at. He'll do his darndest, though.
Shield's history. Would you look at this fighting?
Oh, yeah, I can't ADS or I'll stop edging.
One less shield in the world.
They had such a chance to make overkill weapons feel really valuable and fun. And the game came out. Boys, I'm not in my best suit. I'm not like set up to be that helpful. I need you guys to carry me. Sacrificing grit for you.
You did me a solid.
That's how much I love you. I need Hardcore Henry too. Yeah, me too. And also, like, I think that's one of those films that's getting that retroactive credit that it deserves. I feel like people are finally seeing it as the goddamn masterpiece it is. It's the only thing I can actually make like use of. Yeah, the layoffs, the restructuring, or whatever it is, seems just crazy to me when you look at the financials. I mean, of course, profitability is something they need to strive towards and want to strive towards. I get it, but the only way they're going to do that, at least in the short term, is going to be with Payday succeeding, right? So you're telling me they're taking people off the game with a smaller team, and they're letting people go? That's where I'm not sure. Why are we doing S3? That ain't K2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Get on your knees, brother. Oh! There's the lag. Oh. The guy died of lag attack. What do I know? Not a lot. Most not knowledgeable streamer around. Like I said in the year 2 video I made recently, it's actually surprising just how little creators and partners know this time around. And you know what? I'm kind of enjoying not being overly in the know. Maybe Lucky's onto something. Payday Battle Royale? That's like the dark timeline, right? Especially after they made that Battle Royale joke for April Fool's years ago. I won't be happy until they add Almir Kart to the actual game. Then I'll feel like we've got the most we can out of it. Big guy, I do not appreciate this. Oh, for God's sake. What am I meant to do with this shit? It's a scary man following me around. It's time to bamboozle this guy. Oh, hell yeah. Bravest man around. Loka. Thank you, thank you. Payday, but now it's a turn-based RPG. The Baxter timeline. Too real. That ain't gonna be turn-based though, there's no way. Starbreeze know one sort of game design approach, and I think we're gonna see that. Like Payday, without guns. Was that the Far Cry review? Far Cry 3? Skyrim with guns? I miss when we were mad about stuff like that, you know? Everything seems simpler back then. No, Baxter will not be turn-based. It's going to be a cooperative action game, I imagine, with some RPG mechanics, light RPG mechanics akin to what we see in Payday. What was the number? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be like Vermintide, but with goblins. Yeah, there's gobos involved. These boys are reenacting the goddamn trailer, so I can't get my grit online. I mean, I'm really concerned about Baxter in the long run. I do think it's going to be a tricky sell if the Payday audience aren't on board, and everyone else is just like, oh, that's the studio who made that flop Payday 3. I think it is going to be tricky for them. But I mean, I hope it's a massive success, if only for the people working on the song. Rage Shield and the Heist. Tell me, say it ain't so. I tell you what, one thing, since I've been playing a lot of zombies recently, I have been reloading my weapon in a desperate attempt to keep my insta-kill up. That's definitely not normal, is it? Payday 3 has, like, ruined my brain chemistry. I'm screwed. Huh. That actually feels really good on shields. Like, having that knockback skill feels bloody excellent. I don't normally run that. You're the type of player to get down during insta-kill? We know, Nico. I've seen it firsthand. I've spoken a little bit about why I don't think the 40 million is the concern that kind of shorted. I really don't. I wouldn't be too worried about that personally. Cut to like my predictions, my track record's been dreadful. So get to 2 months down the line, and I'm representing Starbreeze in court because they can't afford a goddamn lawyer. Now, I just meant doing it for the sake of. I feel like I've never used this before. It's actually kind of a cool view of the map. Oh. Some of the environmental stuff's really good on this map. I feel like not worrying about it is massive cope. I think at the end of the day, it's a significant sum, but the company is like cash rich enough that even if they do have to pay it, it isn't going to do the kind of things that they're proposing it might do. But I also don't think it's gonna, the end sum is gonna be anywhere in the region of that. And I do find it funny that we're acting like this hasn't been like common knowledge for 8 years. I mean, I've certainly mentioned it before. Shows how much you guys listen to me. What the hell? The hell? I don't know. It's priced in. It's priced in. That's what they say. That's what they say. Those market pros. I stopped listening to you after you got me to pre-order Payday 3. Yeah, understandable. That seems like a reasonable response. Because it's the end of 2024. Yeah, I mean, the arbitration stuff is interesting. The fact they're actually paying arbitration costs. Well, they're not paying for anything. They've set aside provisions, which is what they have to do if there is at least if their auditor thinks that there is a substantial likelihood that they will have to go to court to settle. What I find interesting is, at least as of last year, Starbreeze haven't. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more fun maps in the game, especially once they fix the fact everything was blue. I enjoy it. Especially solo, man. It's like a genuinely challenging heist. No damage taken, he says. Then dies. You missed the oil room? Oh, don't worry. I'm sure they'll bring it back. I'm sure some new heist is going to be slicked up, man. First World Bank, anyone? Oil me up, brother. That's what I say to Almir. Thanks to the pre-orders, the game is still alive. Yeah, to be fair. Those initial quarter sales are the most impressive by such a substantial sum. Readjusting everyone. Watch the garage be filled with it. That would be the place, wouldn't it? It's like the perfect color scheme to go oily. Oh, you're so right, actually. As soon as you set the C4, oil. I think any of the budgeting changes won't necessarily impact a lot of the content we already know is deep in the pipeline. So I mean, I say this in the script I put together for when I talk about the financial news. I do actually think we're going to have a fairly positive end to the year. Because most of that content's been made miles in advance, right? And people will be like, well, what the hell were we worried about? No, let me go! Hell yeah.
You didn't just bury Concord with this heist. You sent a message. No one fucks with the Payday gang.
Oh my god. They're doing a bake-off thing at my work, and I've just seen... it's my turn this week. I won't be streaming tomorrow, I'll be baking. I've just seen what someone in the chat is suggesting. I'm gonna, whoever sent me that invite, I'm gonna queue up touch the cradle, rock the cradle. That's the one. If you want to join me on it. And I guess the play, right, is to go. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna add that. Yeah, clean slate's nice, isn't it? I'm gonna... I really need these transport skills. They'd be very good to have. Get rid of that. We don't need it. Gonna get rid of that. We don't need it. I'm gonna dump it all into sentry skills, which like literally no one uses. So much so, how do I even? So the way this is designed is if you don't make it all the way over there without touching anything else, you can't scroll down to see what the hell the ace skill does. I don't actually know how worth it is, but I want to buff these things up as much as I possibly can. Why not? This is just a great way to blow up civs, in case you're wondering. Yeah, okay, I think that's a pretty lean sentry setup. Right, sentries, carry me. I think we're all good otherwise. Right? Yeah. And then with like manipulated skills on Rock the Cradle these days, it should just be piss easy to stay around forever. But I'm going to do this exactly as it is. Like, I'm going to do it on very hard, not overkill. And I'm basically just testing to see how well the sentries pick up the 50 kills. Sentries are good, actually. I mean, they're pretty good. I did see the 7 sentries tweet. They're pretty, like... They're quietly really strong, but, like, you just don't need anything like that to play the game. If the game was as difficult as Payday 2 in places, people might be more inclined to try sentry strats, but, like, you might as well just have survivability skills and have an easier time in life. We need that. Deep, dark, hidden skill rework, man. That's what we need. I've heard whispers on the wind about it. There's a Troy. Yeah, the sentry is actually pretty good on cook-off, but then you have to play cook-off. It's the problem. Can I get any friends? Any friends to help me live through 4 waves? I understand you might not want to suffer that. Already full? I don't see any... Oh, God, they are. They were hidden. Something about that chains drip is... It's throwing me for a loop. Couldn't even find the lobby? If you got me on your friends, I should be findable. My God, that's a Houston up in the chat. It's been so long. And then the funniest thing is Hoxton actually calls him Houston in this game.
Okay, we're here for the crypto wallet. Remember, the drive is wiped and loses all value if the alarm goes off. Good, you're inside.
Oh, I forgot they just opened the door for you on this difficulty.
The VIP area. Find a way to get in there.
Can't come through
That's
here
the
without
VIP area entrance.
Jesus, this heist is like comedically easy.
There's a chance you could find one
You'll never arrest me. You'll never arrest me.
bouncer to leave his post.
Let's knock some skulls.
must go.
Alright, let's do this. Okay, so we just need to survive 4 assault waves, and I need my sentry gun to kill many men. Get him! What the hell, man? Oh yeah, they broke the zip line, didn't they? Well, we're stuck here for wave after wave anyway, so it's fine. Rest in peace, the zip line. Wait, yeah, it just, this is like the most Payday 3 of all bugs. Like, How have you broken this? What thing have you done that's led to this? And why is it that it's going to be broken for like another month from here? Why is that happening, lads? Can I get an answer? Oh, Houston is one of the most buggy heists. We warned them before that one went live though as well. We were concerned about that one. Okay, so the only thing I'm guessing we can't do is set him into final charge. I don't have the 360-degree skill? Dude, he was staring right at him. But I should have the 360-degree skill. I thought I had brought that. Shows how often I use sentry guns. My grand plan was just to place them in front of, like, the spawns on this downstairs bit.
You promise this thing won't shoot me by mistake?
Oh, we're definitely locking in on the significantly less investment. I just don't think they're fully realizing how funny of a thing that is to say, given the current state of the game. Outstanding bug, my liege. It's what the 5 Payday 3 designers say to each other when they find a new one.
Watch out for grenades! Naders rolling in! I'm running a hack to reactivate the vault's keypad. Don't let anyone near it.
Oh, Karik, you actually so updated ziplines globally to only show their placement markers if the zipline bag is currently being carried. Ah, yes, I actually saw that and I was like, you know what, that's actually a really good fix. It could get really annoying on under the surface, if I remember correctly. Can I get some of them there enemies? Some cops, please? Oh, good. Boys! Are you taking the piss? One of my sentries is like not right in the head.
They deployed the hostage rescue team.
One less shield in the world, gang!
He's got a hole in their head, dude. Just like my sentry. What, is their turning radius really this bad?
Here comes the sentry gun!
Mate! Can you shoot them, please? Alright, I gotta get rid of the cummy canister. It would be nice to, like, actually have half an idea how many you've got. Does anyone know when the achievement actually pops? So, all it says is complete a heist. Yeah, so it pops on completion. That sucks. Hotline is a big Sentry fan. And I didn't realize this during Do Time to Get Time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been half as friendly. It's still crazy to me that like sentry guns were so pride of place in the trailer. I mean, come on, lads. That's so inconsistent. They're better than Payday, but Payday 2 ones are actually like decently damaging and can trivialize Holdout. Not that Holdout isn't already pretty trivial, but no, like they do good damage normally, but I seem to have just been given the runt of the goddamn litter.
Say hi to the killer robots!
Just said about Starbucks cutting on staff and investments. What do I think about it?
Let your guard down.
Yes. So if they were to become basically insolvent, they would more than likely need to have to start selling off their assets, which would involve the Payday IP, which would probably be the only thing that retained significant value. Yeah, they would be pretty much forced to do that. If it retained value. Because they would have to liquidate. I don't really know too much about companies going from being publicly traded to being delisted and going off the market, going private. I know there's a lot of talk about Ubisoft doing that at the moment. No, the IP does not have negative value. Like, it's a high value IP. It wouldn't take a particularly incredible salesperson to tell you that. Is Payday 3 worth it to buy? Not whilst they're cutting investment in it. No. No, it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? They say they're going to cut investment in it, so no one can recommend the game because the game is obviously not being supported sufficiently in our eyes. Oh my god. Why must things be this way? And then because no one's buying it, they cut investment further. It's tough. It's tough, but I think signaling that is really dangerous. And I'm look forward to watching the stream tomorrow to see how they backtrack it. Operation Medic Bag, it's here. It's it. Oh, finally, my sentry guns. They'll have some power. I can't. Like, I'm amazed I'm not dropping frames looking at this. This is the perfect achievement to do, to like actually go AFK and talk about the stock market. Definitely want that 360 turret skill. Yeah, this. Hey, you know, at least I'm learning that now. The thing is, we have multiple assault waves to get through this. I'm thinking if we do it on overkill, will it be faster to get through the assault waves? Does anyone know? Bearing in mind this is like a pseudo speed run. Assault wave mechanics, I'm not even that familiar with them. But it feels like we've been trading hostages for resources for about 10 minutes. We've only been in the heist 8 minutes 40 seconds. It's because they're trading everyone? Yes, valid point. What's the max difficulty? It's overkill, which is what it was at Payday 2's launch. And Payday the Heist launch, I believe. Almir Heist to win. If he survives the stream tomorrow, maybe he'll there'll be more call for it. Yeah, boys, I reckon we'll be all right. Oh my god, it's given. Look at the Prime sub. The Jeopardy prize, it's finally here. Many thanks. I'm glad that video seems to be doing well. I think it's such a cool concept, and people seem to like it. I hope you're planning your next one. Whether or not it involves me, I think Other Creators should definitely get a go. It was really fun if you're genuinely passionate about the Payday series. And if anyone on the stream hasn't seen it, you should check it out. Sentry actually procs my skills. Huh. It was a solid game of Jeopardy. I got very lucky at the end. I think Mario probably deserved the win, but didn't gamble enough on the Beecroft question. Can you show me the Deagle full clip animation reload? As in, okay, so regular reload. Fully empty reload. Weapon inspect. Lads! Piss off, I'm busy. Yeah, the animations are really good. No, I think there's room for some positivity within the Payday community. You just don't want to touch on the Payday 3 news too often. I have no idea how many kills I've got, but it literally doesn't matter because we need to survive 4 police assaults. Is that how many it is? Yeah, 4 full assaults. You got me, man. What will Gustavo do? Well, I'm pretty sure Gustavo is contracted as like the full-time music composer for Payday, for Starbreeze stuff. So I'm assuming Gustavo was working on Baxter. There is space for positivity within the Payday community if you don't touch Payday. That's the one. I basically just have to keep killing the shields as well, because those bastards not really my Sentry speciality. Yeah, I look forward to whatever Gustavo does with like a lute and a flute, as opposed to synths. Yeah, at least we did get Payday 3's OST on Spotify. That was something. We do have the sax solo, we do. I think as a composer, it's a little more complicated than that. Like, he's got a lot of things to work on in and around Payday 3. I'm sure Gustavo did the first World Bank music. Oh, he's gonna have to become a Smite YouTuber? Oh, Bill Clinton. Say it ain't so. No, dude, Smite 2's already shit the bed. I'm in agony right now. How high are the chances that they ever release Payday 2 DLC again? I think the chances are slim to zero on that. I'm talking like a 2 to 5% odds of that ever happening. Because I just think Payday 2 has reached a point where it's so tricky for them to develop for, and so unstable that they're just not going to touch it. Yeah. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. Is anyone genuinely excited for Den of Wolves? I think some people are. I think a lot of people think that Ulf and Simon might be able to recapture some of the Payday 2, Payday the Heist magic. I'm not actually certain that that's going to be the case, but I think Den of Wolves might just be cool for on its own merit. I personally really like the concept behind it. As someone who likes narratives in games, I think that the narrative built around it and that first trailer, the Bowman trailer, was good. And dude, Bo Anderson is just like he's multiversal. He's even appearing in the Den of Wolves trailer. Oh, we gotta get rid of the FBI agent. I actually did like that first Den of Wolves track they showed, personally. I thought it was good. I don't know where the techies spawn on this heist. Because... who does this? Who goes this long in loud on rock the cradle? Touch the cradle, as I call it. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic for GTFO. That's my position on it. It's crazy. Bloody Yelwonk hasn't even been trying that hard to get all the achievements. And I'm still about to have them all. So after I've done these two, I'll be missing Spec Ops, which we're going to do. Party Crasher, which you can do in 3 minutes. Danger High Voltage, I'm missing. This is actually one I really need to look out for. So stun 4 Law Enforcers by destroying... Oh, you guys can't properly see it. Hang on, this sucks. God, thank God the police just don't shoot you in this game, by the way. Yeah, shoot a Zappa's battery pack and get 4 Law Enforcers with it. I'm legitimately thinking, like, how am I going to do that? Huh. There are actually dozers here? Yeah, I don't know why the cop's so lazy on Very Hard.
Don't let the zapper get too close!
Yeah, bully him, bully him. Oh, you can. Well, it's not going to help my bloody sentry guns killing him, is it? Yeah, I reckon that'll be cheesable if we're not on a sentry heist. Do I play cook-off a lot? I play cook-off as few times as humanly possible. Per month. Oh, the stream tomorrow? Yeah, it's just going to be Almir doing his usual Almir stuff. The guy's, like, absolutely undeniably charismatic. And so they lean on that. Like, he's not worried, but I don't imagine he's worried or scared of what the crowd is going to be like tomorrow, because he's just damn good at talking to people, and he's pretty confident in what he does and says.
This thing won't shoot me by mistake, will it? Took care.
God, I've never heard these clover lines, by the way. I don't think I've ever placed a sentry gun on it. Given, have a good time at work, if you can, if it's possible. Amir has a gun to his head. No comment. Gun laws in Sweden are very strict, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't personally feel bad for him. I imagine it's not the part of his job he enjoys, but he does quite enjoy, as far as I can tell, being the front-facing sort of community leader that he has become. Do you think the situation is as bad as many think? Like they had 40 to 50 people in total in...
That's how it's done. Don't
The old whiner, yeah, I do. I do think it's as bad as people think. I really do. So I would not know exactly how many people they had on Payday 2 back in the revival era. Get him, boys! Okay, you missed him. Get him, boys! Okay, you missed him. Good try, mate. Did your best.
Throwing down a sentry gun.
Yeah. Yeah, Crime Fest 2015 was slightly more aggro in its PR.
You promised this thing won't
Very
shoot me by
different
mistake.
time. Very different time and very different expectations of the company, you know? I should do a challenge on Payday the Heist. The only problem with that is I'm legitimately bad at that game. I'm gonna have to learn how to get good at Payday the Heist to do any sort of interesting challenge, because I'm not even in the top 50% of players of that game. Was Crime Fest 2015 genuinely that bad? It was, in my opinion, it was as bad as it's ever got. And certainly not as bad as it's ever got for the company, but as bad as like the vibes have ever got. Everyone was turning on everyone. It was genuinely horrible. Yeah, so people asking like, you know, where do you think it is in relation to what was a very successful studio back in 2013 to 2015? Like, obviously, the studio itself still has lots of employees. That studio was marred with crunch. More of a sign of the times than anything, but also the Andersonian leadership was very aggressive, to say the least. So, God, how long does this take? So yeah, I'm not surprised they were able to keep outputting quite a lot of content back then just because of work environments, and I'm not saying go back to that by any stretch of the imagination. But it was also like a well-focused studio that was working in Diesel, which was a much easier engine for them to work in. I don't think we have that many people working on Payday 3 right now. As we did back then. So...
Turned off the zapper!
It was also a time where, like 2015 was a funny year for games, right? Oh, what the hell? Sorry, I'm gonna blame myself on that one. It was a funny time for games. There was a bit of a counterculture against those practices. Like previously, we just sort of accepted it because it was so new. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of the older stuff, like the Ghost Recon things, which I think was a really good part of Connor Shaw's video, is easy to forget. Like the actual pedigree some of these devs have and the games they worked on years and years ago. Game dev in the industry is so mature. Yeah, I see that left, right, and center. I genuinely see that all over the place. And I think you even see that with a number of sort of external hires. People who aren't necessarily, they didn't start in game dev. I think that can create an issue too, where you've got finance or I don't know, marketing people whose background isn't necessarily tied to video games. It can create a big disconnect. You gotta say, like, the Sentry does a solid enough job of like tanking dozers. It's not even on fire yet. Then again, it's not an overkill dozer, so maybe that's why. Mate, if you tried shooting at them, wake up, you absolute. God, that 360 skill might just be mandatory. We're in the same phase as the film era was during the 30s and 40s. You'd think we were more mature than that, but actually I think that's probably apt. What the hell? Because... So that was number 3, right? I think we're going to do one more. Is it escape after doing 4? Surviving 4 full assaults, yeah. Yeah, the game industry back in the 80s was so underdeveloped in terms of what it could do and what it could sell. But we've only really seen it. It's probably only gotten close to its more natural form in the last like 15 years, maybe? You know, we had the advent of like DLC and updates, which wasn't, you know, we take for granted, but weren't necessarily always around in video games. Where did we go from there? I guess we went straight to, like, DLCs became a problem. That was what Payday 3 used to be, Payday 2 used to be scolded for having too many of, and then we got loot box microtransaction era, and then the Battle Pass era. What the hell? He's nowhere near him, mate. Naive to believe we get one overkill weapon per DLC. Yeah, super unexplored system, unfortunately. Loads of room to be more interesting. Oh god, she's in the auto fellatio position. A real favourite of mine. How's mine going? This is the opposite of a speed run. I genuinely think this is going to be... Well, no, it's definitely going to be the longest achievement on the entire run. It's going to take up around 30 minutes, isn't it? I'm not even sure I can speed it up. Just the Rock the Cradle one. An Akimbo overkill weapon. Akimbo makes so much sense to me on the surface, but I'm probably underestimating what it takes to implement. Does the game actually need the overkill system? I think it was not necessarily a last-minute addition, but not a super well thought out addition. I think it was an answer to a question that didn't necessarily need answering. Because I think the question was, how do we balance these wacky weapons? And the answer they came up with was, oh, we make them less accessible and limited in their usage. But I just don't think they ever needed to do that. I hate this sentry in particular, he sucks. Diamond District, 46 seconds? God, that's impressive. I mean, you need something to do with the game right now. It's not like we seem to be getting anything of substance in November. Which is surprising to me. I really thought we would. Why are you beating up my my wee sentries, man? What have they ever done to you? I genuinely think that Starbreeze at the time when they added the safes and drills were thinking, well, TF2's got it and CSGO's got it. Why can't we? And I think we're still perceived as like a very old-fashioned, traditional... The blood effect's pretty good in this game. A very old-fashioned community as a result of how we responded to that.
Sentry guns up.
Dev's too busy with NNN to work on the game. What the hell is NNN? Oh. Okay. I know what it is. That's bad for you, man. Be free. Nobody says be free. This 97-year-old community still hates monetization the old-fashioned way? Hell yes. That's my kind of meme.
Well done, team. But you know they'll be back, so stay sharp.
Can we leave now? Was that number 4? I bloody hope so. Let's just sod it. I don't want to stay any longer. Get the bags in, boys. I don't think that was 5. I think that was number 4. I was early. I mean, Kurik, you have my permission. I'm not going to tell you not to. Put it that way.
Lock and load. The helicopter is almost
I think I'm increasingly not online enough to get these things, to be honest. Yeah, and Katic. I just feel like I'm getting old.
stand ready, guys. Cops are preparing to
Can I get that signed on my Steam profile? Like, I can't give you, like, a... It's like, you know, not financial advice. This is not medical advice. I don't actually know. I'm just saying, like, not going to make you a better boxer, you know? Wasn't that Mike Tyson's whole thing? Just, like, straight up abstain from sex for, like, 10 years? You know Dwarg encourages it. That's normally the topic of conversation on their streams. God, maybe we're gonna have to do this one on Overkill just so I don't fall asleep. Wish there was a timeline when they enabled the community aspect of Unreal Engine. Yeah, I think they've done themselves absolutely no favors with how they treat the modding community for this game, but I think you'll find that that's a lot of corporate mishandling in terms of fears of the modding community impacting DLC sales. I think in their ideal world, we'd be buying battle passes that were easier for them to DRM and protect, right? But because we are old-fashioned and all the money's made through DLCs, expansions, it's a little bit harder. They've been stricter on things. Alright, I'm hoping for double achievement pop. Yeah, hell yeah, that was easy.
wow, that was some
And I leveled up the weapon completely. Okay, that's interesting that that's how long it's taken.
Vlad should be happy.
So that's max level. God damn. So now we are only missing Danger, High Voltage, Party Crasher, Clean It Out, and Spec Ops. That's pretty good. That's their problem with custom weapons, heist, and skin skills are better than the official content. To some extent, yes. I think it's more they fear the DLC unlocker route that people have had in Payday 2. I think they fear how bloody potent that was, you know? Like, I can see the call for some level of it, but I think it's backfired in the end. I mean, you guys know that my number one theory is that, like, Nebula has buggered the game way more than we realize. Like, if there was no Nebula, the game would have just been more successful. It would have had a larger player base. Number one Nebula hater over here. Yeah, so that's level 20. Damn. That's my only problem with it, is that it takes so much longer. So, what's the task 12's max level? Wouldn't it be nice if it just told you? 13, 15, okay, that's already pretty high. Yeah, I don't see myself using the task 12. I'm almost certain the lowest level primary is also the worst primary in the game. I think it's the Rheinfeld. And then the other thing I might consider using, if it... Yeah, the Adelig. Let's have a look. So the Adelig, you can pirate Payday 3 DLC too. Yeah, but they've made it more difficult, right? The Adelig's a no-go. That's too high a level. We can't mess around with that. Even if it is the best weapon in the game. I think so. Range barrel level 17. Jesus Christ, man. In theory, for the speedrun, I'm going to have to use the Rheinfeld. Oh, it's going to be so upsetting. Oh, I don't know how I feel about it. The question is, like, does using the Rheinfeld make it higher risk? Therefore, I shouldn't use it when the Pursuivant's so much better and only requires 3 more levels? Kane and Lynch 2 had a heist multiplayer mode with bots? Huh. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know there's loads of issues with DLC, like DLC claiming and access, especially on console. There's nothing I can say other than it's bloody dreadful on Starbreeze's part. They need to get you your content. It blows my mind that we're in a situation where that's possible. Right, lads. So, let's bloody do this. Hang on. Do I have the right skill? I'm a idiot. I meant to have menacing at this point. Oh well. We don't have menacing. You guys might have menacing, and you guys might be able to get rid of cams. We are gonna do a stealth heist. Everybody keep that in mind. So, if I get any more friend requests, I think this might have to be the last set I actually accept on this account. Otherwise, it's gonna get too busy. It's gonna start breaking my bloody game. Alright, touch the sky. I think it has to be overkill. We got lead guard. Cerberus, that's fine. Huh, Blob, that's actually like genuinely really interesting. I'm just gonna host all of the heists to make it more straightforward. Oh yeah, they did mess up making those heists accessible, didn't they? There were all sorts of rumors about things disappearing that shouldn't have. I'm genuinely not sure how that happened. Rheinfeld will be more content value, maybe. I think in theory it could make a big difference because it's like the difference of maybe. It's a 3-level difference. And you get about 1 level per Rock the Cradle speedrun, for example. So it's probably only about a like 10-minute difference. And it really depends how many heists you need, but Now, I think I will have to run the Rheinfeld. I think it will suck. We'll see. I can run whatever secondary, so I can run the Deagle and life will be good. That I can tell you. Oh, we're going out of focus. You stupid thing. Thought I told you to stop doing that. Hang on. Instead of doing autofocus and braking on me all the time. Let me focus you. Hang on. Yeah, I'll do. That'll do. Right. Stealth, lads. Stealth. We love stealth. Let's do this. Don't kill anyone. If you've got Dominator, is that what the skill's called? Menacing? If you've got that, we can take cams down. And we can actually just hold guards in place too. Probably would be smart. This is like the only heist I feel I really need to practice. It would be nice to get more art gallery practice in, but that's honestly not that difficult. Yeah, that's probably right. My two like real weaknesses as a creator, I would suggest, are audio and like camera, video kind of things. I always have a nightmare with it. Yeah, we just have to complete this one completely pacifist. Thing is, what we could do, and what I could do on the run, theoretically, is we could get to the point at which we already know the code, which could massively speed things up. Yeah, I've done this solo as well. It should theoretically be much easier with a full team. But I did originally do it solo. Oh my god, it is so much easier with a full team. I think. Because... can't he hack the smartphone? Yeah. That's way easier. Casey mode, man. It's OP. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here is on. It started yesterday, didn't it? I know it's got the bloke from Corrie on it. And that's about it. That's about the extent of what I know about this year's one. Regular cams. What do I have here? Micro cam. It's not even like you can break it anymore. How do I get out of cameras? I could not remember the button. This is a miserable RNG for it, by the way. We don't like this one.
Look around for the key card. It should be somewhere in the filing room. Great. Now you can get into the office.
Oh god. He's a god! He's a stealth god! I tried to throw a throwing knife and just pulled out my camera because, Jesus. Yeah, different button in Call of Duty, man. I'm getting tortured by that consistently. Yeah, if we could do it without this one, that would be amazing, actually.
Guard, stay back.
The floor plans have a blank space behind the office. It must be a panic room. Look around the office for a way to open it.
Do what you're told and don't piss me off.
That's an iris scanner.
Okay.
If you can separate the bigwig from the crowd quietly,
Dominated. What is that guy looking at?
Partner in crime. It's all fine here. I'm awake and everything. Scout's honor. Whatever you think you heard is probably nothing. I bet it was radio.
A delivery guy just walked into the building with a bottle of really fancy whiskey. It must be meant for.
I thought it was Cerberus cool. How is this perma hack? That was actually oh, I see. Someone's in there. Alright, this is actually easy as hell with a good team. You guys kind of rock thus far.
Something happened. Check the wall panel behind the bed.
We got a 1, 2, 4, 5.
I bet a few bucks will find it in the office.
Oh, that's not wrong. Right, 1, 2, 4, 5. Please ignore the first thing I said. My finger slipped. Yeah, lead guard coming. God, look at that! Like, what a team! What a call out! My hero. Guess it's Mason time anyway. I don't have the poison in my.
See if you can get him to drink.
But remember back in the day where you could shut down the lead guard by throttling the lad?
Approaching the bar. Get out of sight.
Bathroom strat is back. Finally. Hang on, let me do some magic for you.
That's gonna cause a reaction.
Hell yeah. Big bathroom has returned. A year and a half later.
Guard. Got us as a guard. Guard, stay back.
He's pouring a glass. Get ready.
Staying around here and just keeping everyone marked is probably the play, isn't it? He's just gone downstairs.
Fucking guard. Got us as a guard.
Guys, I'm using the microcam for like the first time in my life.
Guard, stay back.
These utilities are sick. They're so underutilized, man. Did I see the Derek Ray news? What Derek Ray news? Tell me it's good news, man. It's got to be good news. We've only had bad news. What Derek Ray news could be good? Have I watched Connor Shaw's video on Payday? I have, yeah. It's fascinating. I like the history stuff in particular. I think that's really cool. I think a lot of that, like, depth of history hasn't been done before. At least I've not seen it. Derek Ray is a bigot, follows the libs of TikTok. Derek's been, like, libertarian posting for years, dude. It's it's par for the course. Everyone knows that. That isn't used to be. At least all the partners were talking about it when he was added. He doesn't seem like a bad dude at all in terms of how he comes across, like in actual conversations and stuff. He does just seem to have some kind of weird right of center views on some things. What are we doing, lads? Oh yeah, Bo's rough, man. Bo's backstory is intriguing. I see. I don't mind moving him. I was just gonna. That lad's not dead, is he? Well, this will help.
Come with me. Get him to the iris scanner. Quietly.
My boy doesn't even puke.
Guard. Fucking guard.
That guy's got eyes in the back of his head. Basically hacking.
Guard.
I can't remember where he goes next from here. I'm just gonna wait. Play it safe, lads. Group up on staircase.
Mind the guard.
Yeah, he goes behind. But then does he go all the way around?
Got us as a guard.
He does.
What's the guard?
Oh, he's gonna be able to see me. I gotta go this way.
Hey, here's a guard.
As long as the lead guard ain't walking his ass in here, we'll be fine. My name is Luke. Yeah, that's completely unacceptable.
Pretend it's a hole.
Whoa, what an invite, Mark. I mean, like everybody's suffering with something in Payday 3 right now, and it's just bad. It's 1, 5, 4, 2. It's either you can't access your DLCs, your game's playing like crap. The game takes half an hour to load. It's all bad stuff. Their inability to hotfix this game is tremendously frustrating. Guys, not throwing is my #1 job right now, alright? Please understand me.
This has more layers than a fucking onion. The drive must be in the
The server browser is so undercooked. I think they had a really hard time like being able to test it. I don't want to try and make excuses for them there, but it feels undertested. Because they couldn't really test it very easily in a live environment. And I don't know how many people are on QA right now, but I don't think it's that many. Throw for content? I mean, like, I can throw for content here. We already actually know what the code is, which would speed us up a lot next time. Because this isn't a real run. I just need some practice on this one, because I think it's the hardest we have. Lead guard's wandering his ass in here. It's like, huh! A little weird how this is open. I'm gonna not bother about it though. Yeah, they definitely knew about Cook-Off and Turbid Station when Almir said all that as well, so that's weird. Like, I'm pretty sure that was pre-made content that was almost ready to go in the launch version. But they decided to hold back for an early patch. And it was like, they were thinking this is the high-impact patch that saves the game, but fundamentally the game was already on a downward spiral by that point, unfortunately. KO bathtub. This isn't happening. I so nearly killed him. That would have been doing it for the content, right? Mason pisses me off so much because he could have been a character and instead they made him a non-character. And I think that kind of stinks. Also, stealth streams, eh? Am I right? This is the peak of entertainment. Getting bloody all loot. You guys are hardcore. He'd make a great boss fight. He should have been a boss fight. They pushed boss fights inexplicably super hard in Payday 2. We'd basically never had a boss fight before, and then in the like post White House content, we kept getting boss fights. Yeah, I can only carry one bag at a time, my friend. Don't have. I'm not a real build. Forgive me.
Hoxton, over here.
You can leave whenever you like. But why not have a look around for something more to
Over
steal?
here, Houston.
Oh, someone just hack him?
Second guard.
I was not ready. I was very not ready.
Guard, stay back. James.
Give me the old hackaroonie again. What's he even doing?
Hoxton.
Excuse me, sir. Coming through.
You've taken everything
And all loot. You guys are hardcore. Bloody hell. Favorite genre of music that I casually listen to? It's probably like kind of
masterclass in burglary.
somewhere between punk rock and classic rock. Or it's just Trouble's Always in There, man. This is what I wish I could listen to all the time. Interesting name by Mr. Sigler. What do I think is the source of Overkill's incompetence? I think it's a pure and simple disconnect between senior leadership and the industry and genre for which they're creating products. I don't think they understand their audience. I don't think they want to understand their audience. I actually think they want to escape their current audience because we're not very profitable. That's putting it as straightforward as I possibly can. That's where I see it. Is the game truly done for? No, there's going to be a proper year 2. It's just we don't know what it's going to entail after the first few months. We don't know what's going to happen with the publishing contract. We don't even know if that's an issue. Maybe the publishing contract falls through and that's not a problem. They planned for that. We just don't know. Yeah, I would like to see some pretty standardized changes to a lot of the base game heists, especially those that are circle heavy. I think to hope that Mason becomes anything more interesting is it's never going to happen. But it does suck. Like I said, it was something they were really focusing on in Payday 2, and then Payday 3 came out, and there were no boss fight type enemies. They were super clunky, some of them in Payday 2. I didn't like all the fights. I think the one on Mountain Master, for example, was a bit messy. I thought the one on Crude Awakening was actually interesting, if also a bit messy. That they were cool concepts. The execution wasn't always there, but the ideas were great. And then we saw nothing like that when it actually came to Payday 3. Payday 4 hype train when? Dude, it's on its way. 2028. It'll come sooner than you expect. Yeah, I think it will get a Gustavo version of something. I don't know whether it will be a full-on homage. I'm not sure how much room they have to use Simon's stuff. There was a little bit of a Gauntlet reference in Heist, so maybe. I mean, they hinted about that. Yeah, they've certainly said that we know you don't like the circles, but that's the kind of thing that's on a totally unknown timeline. Oh my god, it's Blythe. Did I pronounce that properly? I played Elden Ring. I know Welsh names. Yeah, Sigler, I think that's a pretty good... sorry, can't take your name seriously. I think that's probably also a pretty apt comparison. I do think that they thought they were producing a AAA game with Payday 3, at least. I think, but again, I think there's a disconnect. I think some of the devs and designers on it, no, they're not really. They don't have the budget to make this AAA, but they've seen how much money that they made on Payday 2 and go, well, we're a AAA studio now. Everything should be AAA. And I think they've fallen over themselves there and lost a little bit of style to just emulate that AAA vibe instead. Yeah, I mean, we it's our lot, isn't it? If we still care about the game enough, we'll keep making content for it, and that's where I am with it. I will still try and make content for it. I'm actually trying to do less misery, doom posting, news videos, speculation videos. My year 2 speculation video, for example, wasn't really negatively slanted. It was more of a here's some interesting things they could do. Here's what they should do. Here's what I think they actually might do. I'm trying to do more of that, and I'm trying to do more things that I enjoy, more challenge runs, less, I don't know, pseudo-intellectual video essays where I tell you the game's rubbish. I think I've done enough of that. I was killing Bullock. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty straightforward, but kind of a cool set piece. At least Bullock was a dude. It was a named enemy that you got to kill in a satisfying way. You could even get the shark out. It was a very Payday 2 way of doing things. That kind of thing might not have fully translated over to Payday 3, but the way they've done Mason Lawrence, just crap. And no, I was not talking about what the numbers mean, Mason. I've just realised now. Thoughts on Den of Wolves? I think we need to see way more of it. Gameplay's been so sparse. The first trailer shows like the tiniest bits of it, but I think the game was a lot earlier in development than we necessarily thought it was. Think keep an eye out on the Game Awards. They have really good, as far as I can tell, all seems to have a really good relationship with Jeff Keighley, and so they tend to get their games out on the show floor. In fact, Beaumite as well, because they had Crime Boss out there a couple of years ago. That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Bloody hell, time flies. Yeah, I remember watching that in bed on a work night. Yeah, so I think it'd be interesting seeing the Game Awards. It's a few weeks away, isn't it? We'll see if there's some Den of Wolves appearance, and if there isn't, it's a whole extra year out. Sorry about the name, no worries. Seemed like a stand-up bloke. Yeah, I mean, Payday has so many examples of like great ideas poorly executed. It is an execution issue, which comes with inexperience. It comes with sort of overconfidence, lack of resources, lack of time, testing. You know, that's why so many of the updates are all over the place. Like, I absolutely love this new menu. It looks great. But it's barely running at 30 frames per second on my main account when people come online and offline. So, can't get too excited about it, can I? Like other Project Baxter as news comes out, I'll totally talk about some things. I think the expectation will be that Starbreeze partners will. I think Starbreeze need to be conscious that won't necessarily be the case. But they can always pay Angry Joe again. But to be clear, that wasn't Starbreeze who did that. That's a play on investment. I think, yeah, the expectation is, you know, we get some access to RoboQuest things, which is awesome, by the way. I'm a big RoboQuest lover. Which is Starbreeze published. I will try the game in good faith, but it's going to be, here's the thing, it's going to be almost impossible, no matter how good it is on launch. It's designed as a live service game, so it's not going to be the complete article. How could anyone in good faith who've lived through the Payday 3 saga, if the Payday 3 saga ends the way it looks like it might with not enough support, how could anyone in good faith recommend Baxter when they've just seen that? And the only conclusion you can come to logically is they're going to do the same thing. You could argue, well, actually, if Baxter makes them lots of money, they might care about it. But is that really the approach of a studio that deserves your backing? It's tricky. Will I do a video on the investment issue? Yeah, it's all scripted. It's all ready to go. I'm giving Almir his chance to say his piece tomorrow. I'm going to try and make it a little more informational and balanced as opposed to an appeal to reason, because I don't think that's going to work. I just want people to understand the situation. Do you know if they've done any hotfixes at all? I know they're working on things, but I know the game's... I reckon First World Bank's going to come out and I'm still not going to be able to play my main account. Now, that's a me problem. Only I need to worry about that. My solution has been to play on alt accounts. It's worked fine. It's not ideal, but it's still a pain in the ass. But it's not the kind of thing that even though it's just a me problem or just a few people's problem, it's not the kind of thing we should be expected to put up with for 2 months. It's at that point I'm thinking, well, that's a bit unacceptable. How have you got people who pay for DLC who don't have access to DLC for so long? Frustrating. Then the full sweep, it's not even out. Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't necessarily think people are going to flame Almir tomorrow. I actually think people are well within their rights to ask the kind of questions I asked in my tweet. Like, you know, what have you changed that makes you so certain that there will be an amount of value delivered to players this year? Because we think the amounts of value that were delivered last year were just about fine, but still covered in issues. They act like the UI update was purely well received, and there was no area for scathing critique, which there was. Yeah, I think less than year one is worrying. That's where I stand on it. Anyway, what if Payday 3 in year 2 is profitable and they decide to reinvest in Payday 3? It's totally possible, isn't it? People might assuming it's Jacket, people might lap up Jacket. They might pay the big bucks for Jacket. They might sell so many copies of Jacket. They're like, oh my god, look at the profitability. We're going to have to rebudget. We're going to have to pivot. Any business who's calling itself agile in any shape or form should work like that. They should be able to pivot, especially when they have a sudden larger source of revenue. And they might, but it's still a might. And I don't necessarily know if that would even be enough to encourage a change in approach. It might just be like, oh, look at all this extra freedom we have to develop Baxter with. So I don't know. And also, would you expect the game to suddenly start being very profitable when it's not being given it the full sort of love and attention it requires? From my perspective, I think that the major things they need to change and fix that people would like. First of all, updates need to be more stable and they need to have ways to quickly fix them. Number one, pretty straightforward. Number two, the skill system. It's got to go. People don't like it. It's not enjoyable. It's not intuitive. The sooner they change that, the better. Top priority as far as I'm concerned. It will sell copies of the game and it will get players playing the game. Retention time is everything because it will sell future content, DLC, whatever else you want to sell us. It's a core fundamental change that would make a massive difference. Once you've got those two down, and you've also taken steps to make the offline mode functional, true offline, maybe that involves going peer-to-peer. I know that will cause issues in the long run in some ways, but it might just be the best solution. Once they've done that, you could be looking at a very different landscape in terms of recommendation and in terms of Starbreeze investment. But until we've seen that in action, it's impossible to say. Anyway, guys, that's enough fireside chat from me. I'm gonna go play some COD. That's what I tend to do with my evenings. I'm gonna give my script a read through and make some adjustments because I think some interesting stuff's come up tonight that we've been talking about. And then I'm off to go, I don't know, shoot some zombies in the head. Kirik, I'm Prestige 5 currently. I'm not fully in the. I'm not in so deep. I know Mario's way ahead of me, but I'm deep enough. Sorry, Kizu, I apologize. Yes, the Kane and Lynch idea is actually pretty cool. It was not a game anywhere near my list, although I am familiar with them. I didn't consider it. I'll have to have a think. I really like the idea of that new series, though, and I think people are pretty receptive to it. Alright, guys. Take it. Oh, God, about to hit Master. It's over for you, man. Starbreeze's downfall is actually an updraft for the Call of Duty community. Right, guys. Take care. Thank you so much for sticking around for the stream. I will be streaming the actual real challenge, the all achievement speedrun, at some point, probably this weekend, so I have enough time to get it done in one longer stream. Take care, and I'll see you all then.